How's it going, Taurus? It's your friend Dharma Jane. Welcome to my channel. Turn the light on here. Ooh, creepy. It's my plant light. It's awfully dark today. Welcome. This is going to be January 2018 tarot card reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, cross watchers. Anybody who's watching, really. You'll know pretty much right away if it resonates with you. Got a jumper card looking at the Fool. Brand new start, clean slate, new ideas. Using some general white sage to smudge your cards. And free yourself, free expression. Change of viewpoint. Calling in guides, calling in angels, calling in anyone from the highest good that has a message for our watchers today. My third eye is aching right now. So for those of you who are pretty intuitive, they can feel you. What do you have for Taurus? I'll hold up a card when I start so you don't have to watch me shuffle. Taurus, 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 Taurus. January 2018. Stop. Okay. Somebody is holding their ground, or this is the recent past, so you got standing firm, followed by being defensive, creating walls, boundaries with the devil energies. So, because we got the Seven of Swords and rods and the Nine of Rods. So what does that say? That says that somebody is standing their ground and they mean it. I mean, that is, you can't get past that dude, either of these dudes. So I feel like somebody was pushing you and tempting you and like trying to force you, and it felt forced to do something that you didn't want to do. And you're like, nope. This is your recent past. Because in your base you have Temperance. Gosh, it just feels like a real battle for you. There's balance was absolutely needed. You wanted to move on, but you just couldn't. Or you felt like you couldn't. And you were standing your ground about this. I mean, you are not going to be tempted to change your mind about whatever this is. You freaking meant it. It's just, there's a delay. This is moving into your present. There's a delay about this partnership. And you are disappointed about said delay. Like this. But why? I mean, why? So the question is, why are you disappointed about the delay? Obviously, it's because you were standing your ground hard about making it happen. And it's just like, but whatever this temptation was, I feel like you just did not want to be tempted at all. And you were standing your ground about that. Or on the other end of the spectrum, you went for something that was really tempting for you and you found out that you really liked it. And then you had to explain yourself to 1,000 people, which is no fun and unnecessary and a pain in the tail when you have to do that. But in your base for the present, you've got Cupid's arrows, King of Cups. So there could be a marriage on the table here, or marriage material, but you're just not sure. But you are talking to, having communications with somebody who has mastered their emotions. It's just, with this moon being right here, you just aren't sure. There's a lot of illusion with this. But this is somebody who you either are married to, or like live in long term, or that they have the potential to be this. And it's like, or maybe even somebody in the situation is married and in the background, there's this happening. And somebody doesn't know about it with the moon. Somebody's being like kept in the dark here. And I feel like this was supposed to start and just can't right now. There's a delay. It feels maddening. Like it's not out of your hands. The delay is out of your hands. But you do get your clarity. You do get your... This with the King of Wands. The King of Wands is fiery. And I feel like he or she is fired up about this. And just clean slate. Right? The Fool. This was your jumper card. And when you put a sword in the King of Fire's hands, he lights the sword on fire and then chops things. So somebody stood their ground really hard in this and demanded their new start, their clean slate. But somebody's feelings are hurt about it. I mean, obviously, when you're trying to change something that somebody else is holding on to really hard, somebody's feelings are going to get hurt. And at the same time, you know, Taurus is not heartless. This is a situation that has history. It has baggage. It has all of these things that mean something to you. It's just it's just not working out. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to feel heartbroken when it's gone. You're going to feel something, that's for sure. But you have the Empress, which is the mother of love. That's Venus, and it's what, the 8th right now. So that's Venus is like here in our presence somewhere. But this could also be the mother of your children, which could be you, you know. But you got the King of Pentacles with the new start. So it's like you decided to take your new start and then you get it. And this is full of the mother lode of love. I always call the Empress the mother lode. That's kind of what it is, you know. But somebody's going to have to make a choice here and make a decision. Make it happen. But with these two standing your ground like this, there's the Emperor again. Well, yeah, the Emperor to come out on top of these two standing your ground cards, because I'm clarifying the recent past with the good tarot. Makes perfect sense. Once the Emperor makes a decision, that's the decision that's going to go down. Even if you're tempted otherwise. With the Sun, yeah, you're not unclear about what your decision is, that's for sure. I just feel like you're irritated as to why the other parties won't get on board. High Priestess. Yeah. There's a knowing. There's already a knowing. You're going to be shown. You're going to be... Somebody's going to be shown. Because I feel like there's one person hanging on and one person not. And that's why the one person's unwillingly in the Hanged Man position. Yeah, 2 of Swords on top of 2 of Cups. So there needs to be a decision about this couple. With the Chariot, someone needs to move on, move forward. But that's victory. It's victorious energy. So, you know, you have this intuition with a High Priestess. You already know what feels good. And so when you do make the decision to do that, yeah, and then the Knight of Fire, that would be the offer. After you make the decision, then the offer. That's happening right now. But that you had all these conversations, you know, with the King of Cups and the 8 of Rods. It's just there's somebody still yet in the situation that is in the dark. But with the Messenger of Fire, I don't believe they're going to be in the dark for very long, which would be the moon, you know, coming out of shadow. 6 of Cups to clarify the Ace of Swords. So with the 5 of Earth, yep. Somebody from your past is going to feel like they're going to be left out in the cold. I mean, that's what you've got, this King of Wands. Remember, I was talking about the King of Wands when you give him a sword and he's going to light it on fire. But it is going to deal with somebody or about something from the past, or something that's nostalgic to you, or even a soulmate connection, or like twin flame connection, because those are really hard to shake. Somebody's, I mean, there's disappointment underlying all of this. Four of Air to clarify the Three of Air. So you will be able to take some time to get a little respite. Can I get a clarifier on the jumper card, please? The Fool. Why do we have the Fool here? Ah, the Hanged Man. Twice. Dang. Taurus is stuck. What the heck? Let's get an outcome, please. Can I get an outcome using the Crystal Tarot? Outcome for Taurus, January 2017. What can they expect as an overall outcome exiting the month, January 2018? The Chariot twice. Moving on. Hermit. Going inward for the answers. Judgment. So yeah, by the end of the month, the decision's going to be made for sure. Without a doubt. And somebody's going to choose to go inward about that. And it's going to be a victorious thing. You know, you got the Chariot there. And the Devil again. So what does that mean? You're going to follow your temptation? Temptation isn't always a bad thing. And temptation isn't always the devil. Sometimes it's your intuition. Being like, wouldn't that be awesome if you did that? Right? You know, it would be. So why aren't you doing it? Why are you talking yourself out of doing all these awesome things? Why are you delaying that? Why is there such a big delay in doing the things that you feel called to do? Can the devil call you into something yucky? Sure. But use your intuition. If it's like a bad thing, don't do it. If it's a good thing, do it. Who's to say, who's the judge between what's bad and good? Well, you. I'm a Libra. I'm going to tell you to put that on the scales. Make that decision. Can I get some advice from the fairies, please, for Taurus, January 2018? Strength and bravery. Yep, you'll get through it. This delay, it's not caused by you. So you're just going to have strength and be brave about it to do it. And you'll heal. Healing, there's, well, then you have, this is addictions too. So for some people, there is 3 devil cards here that indicate addiction and obsession. This is talking about self-pity. So like, if there's some of you out there who are addicted to something and it's ruining things and delaying things for you. You know, normally I wouldn't talk about addictions with the devil card, but it came up 3 times. And then this one here flat out talks about addictions right there. Bam. And then you've got self-destruction. So for those of you who are doing that, I want to be like, stop. But I know it's not that easy. For some people, I guess. Who else got this? I called him Gollum. I can't remember. That's 2 self-destruction cards. 3 devils and 2 self-destruction cards. What does that tell you? Have you ever heard the song Just by Radiohead? Go listen to that. Just by Radiohead. Oh, jeez. Oh no, it's gone. Your cards are flying all over the place. Cut through deception. Along with a giant spider web. Oh, okay. Heard something about Maurice, Morticia. I hear someone that sounds like Spanish and I don't understand Spanish. On Diablo. I'm accepting messages. Forget about the old. Bring in the new. Anticipation. Self-release. Catherine. And something about taking a voyage. Samuel. Dan. Most people enter into relationships with an eye towards what they can get out of them rather than what they can put into them. The purpose of a relationship is to decide what part of yourself you'd like to see show up, not what part of another person you can capture and hold. You know what's funny is that there's so many of these cards, and I keep pulling this card specifically over the course of months, you know. Here's the deal, Taurus. This card is saying that you've got all of these devils. You've got all of this self-destruction happening. They're asking you to go listen to Just by Radiohead. This is talking about maybe refocusing some of your energy in order to make the relationship like more solid. That the only real way to get any kind of solid change is if you change. Because you can't change another person. You can't. I mean, they might for a minute, but you can't, like, they're still going to have traits. No matter what they say, no matter what you do, they're still going to have traits that are difficult. Because that's relationships. That's everybody. I'm not saying that Taurus specifically attracts difficult people. I'm saying that in a relationship, there's always going to be some things about a person that you just have to deal with, or you can't have them. And so, you know, while it might be tempting to just give up, it might be worth being defensive over it and standing your ground. But at the same time, it is going to require a clean slate and letting go of the past. If there's been a lot of past troubles, and those keep getting brought up, then that's not something that is going to be healing to the relationship. And that some of your fairy guidance was that there needs to be healing, self-healing, group healing, town healing, you know, whatever needs to happen. So do that. Anything else from your guides today? Nope, I heard that's a wrap. Okay, so Taurus, that should do it. Please do like, subscribe, share. If you're going to subscribe, click the bell. Please comment. I love to hear from you guys. I'm a little chatty, so I like to be chatty. And that should do it. Till next time. Have a good one, Taurus.